Let's go to Istanbul and speak to Bachar El Halabi, who's a political analyst. Welcome to the program, Bachar. You know, I don't even know if it's possible to separate the social, the economic, and the political into three different spheres. But can you just talk to us about the economics of this? What does the country have to do to get back on its feet? I mean, this has been going on for so long. Does it need a renegotiation with international lenders? Does it need to default on its debt? Does it need to create a brand new currency? What's the economic solution here?
Good evening, sir. Lebanon definitely does not need to renegotiate with its lenders because its lenders have already overly expressed their readiness to pump money into the country and provide soft and hard loans to the country based on a set of reforms required from the Lebanese sectarian political elite that have run the country for the past 30 years and that have run the country into the situation of disparity that we find the Lebanese citizens in right now. So international donors, whether it's the IMF, World Bank, or other global organizations and countries, have always expressed over the past 2 years the need for conducting those and enacting those reforms. However, it is proven time and over again that the sectarian ruling elite that runs the country is not willing to compromise because they know that the stakes are extremely high. They know that any reform to the system in place that has empowered them over the past 30 years is only going to mean them losing power and losing their grip and creating a space for new reform-minded groups and figures to take a center stage, or at least to achieve a certain breakthrough into the political scene. And this will definitely be a precedent in Lebanon. That is a highly tribal and sectarian system that has prevented almost always any competent figures from reaching power without being basically puppets or stooges for the main sectarian leaders in the country.
Okay, so what you have just said there is a refrain that we hear time and time again, that actually this is a political issue. It comes from decades of mismanagement, from corruption, from that elite that just cares about itself. If the people in Lebanon see it that way as well, which they surely must, right? What is stopping a people's revolution? How come they haven't said enough is enough? You know what? You just don't understand us. It's time for us to take control.
Well, sir, this happened on the eve of October 2019, 2 years ago, when Lebanese people swamped the streets and in an unprecedented form of unity among Lebanese citizens. As I mentioned, Lebanon is a highly sectarian society and the country, but October 2019 posed a very significant moment in the country's history because the protests that swept the streets transcended sectarian fault lines, transcended regional fault lines in the country, and everyone denounced the sectarian ruling elite. They denounced the sectarian leaders, and they demanded change. And this happened over an extended period of time. But what happened simultaneously is that the sectarian ruling elite, the regime, who is sponsored right now and controlled by the Lebanese militia, Hezbollah, cracked down on protesters. I was one to take the streets every single day, but it was a continuous, very pragmatic and conscientious attempt by mainly Hezbollah and other militias, in the sectarian militias in the country, in addition to the assistance from the official security apparatuses that are obviously run by the same sectarian leaders, to crack down on protesters, to beat protesters, and to eventually evacuate the streets, empty the streets from protesters in order to stop the momentum of the protest that was taking place and the demands that were gaining momentum as well among the entire population. So what happened 2 years later is that the sectarian ruling elite evaded reforms, but right now, and also cracked down on citizens. But right now, everyone is trying to coalesce, to collaborate anyway, and I'm referring to mainly the opposition figures, in order to run for the parliamentary elections in May 2022, in order to achieve a breakthrough and hope for a snowball effect for reforms starting from that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we continue to see the same thing happening again and again. Bachar, thank you so much. Bachar El Halabi in Istanbul.